on the Dabble app from 1 till 3, so hopefully see you there. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Good luck.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Welcome to the Hungry Jacks NBL, where we've got Monday night hoops on Cup Eve here in Naarm. Melbourne United undefeated to start NBL 26 and looking to make franchise history and go 10-0 here tonight. United led by none other than Chris Goulding in his 19th season, but returning to Melbourne for the first time against his former team is Matthew Dellavedova. Can Delly and the Kings spoil the party?
Delly has had such a great career, and I wish he was coming back to see a banner that he'd helped raise, because he did have a profound impact on our club. And I would imagine that the fans would react to him, as they should, with applause and all that.
Delly fighting all the way. Nice from Delly.
But if I know Delly, he's going to have a little fire in his belly to try and come out and perform and try and win, which is ultimately what he wants to do.
Hello and welcome to John Cain Arena for the last game of the NBL's Indigenous round. It's first versus 6 and 2 of the best coaches in our league going head-to-head. One with 9 wins straight to start this season. It's a pleasure to have your company. I'm Kelsey Brown, joined by 2 NBL champions, Leonard Copeland and Andrew Gaze. Gazy, this matchup looks like a good one.
It certainly does, and you've got a team like Melbourne United who have come out of the blocks like we didn't expect. 9-0 against you at this level of competition is quite extraordinary. And Brian Goorjian's figuring out how to get this team back in action. And we saw the makings of that last weekend against the Brisbane Bullets, Copes, and they looked organised, shortened the rotation, and most importantly, they were knocking down a 3-ball.
The real question is, are they under pressure? And I'm saying yes, because we both coached there, and we know what it's like. Those Sydney King fans want to see wins. They got to put it together quick. If not, they're going to miss the playoffs.
Quick one about Delly returns against his former team. Is it something that he's got in the back of his head? He wants to have a good one?
Well, I say Brian Goorjian is going to have him all fizzed up, because we saw what happened when Kendrick Davis went back to Adelaide. Brian Goorjian loves to play on that emotion, and he'd have Delly wired up, particularly on the defensive end, because he's going to have a tough assignment with either Goulding or Walker.
My question to you is, are the fans going to boo him when he comes out, or are they going to cheer for him?
No chance they're booing him.
Why not? I'm booing him. Why not?
Because he's been such a magnificent contributor.
Here we go.
You heard Chris
He's
Goulding.
on the opposite team now.
You heard Chris Goulding talking of the love they have for Delly and what he did for this franchise.
What about the love that the Kings have for someone like Kendrick Davis and what he's been able to do for the franchise?
He's been fantastic. I mean, look, he's averaging 22 points a game. He's figured out that he needs to score. And look, again, when Joy spoke about it, when he went to Adelaide, he was professional. He got the job done. But he's got to play against Walker, who has done a great job on a lot of scores. Now we're going to see what happens.
The Melbourne United got the defense, so it's going to be, he'll be tested tonight for sure.
Some of the big ones that we want to talk about is the matchup of the big men. And now they might not play head-to-head against each other, but Jesse Edwards, he's not on the floor for more than 20 minutes a lot of the time, but he produces this.
Yeah, only just, but they are spectacular numbers. The field goal percentages, that's somewhat to be expected by both these guys, because they're doing their work around the rim. Both of them elite rebounders, but Jesse Edwards is going to be tested tonight, because he's going to have Tim Suarez, who stretches the floor. He just can't pluck himself in the middle of the paint and block shots. And Xavier Cooks, he's going to present a challenge to him off the bounce, an elite offensive transition.
And there's been a lot of talk about Cooks being down. He's not that far away from his MVP year. He averaged 15 back then. He's at 12 now, Joey. I reckon he's going to have a big game in Melbourne, because he has a lot of fans here.
Well, I spoke to Delly pre-game, and he said that he loved what Xavier Cooks did in that last game against Brisbane. So let's hope that he can produce that again here tonight. Without further ado, let's welcome in our final member of the commentary team. Jack Heverin, over to you.
Thank you very much, Kels. Great to have your company wherever you're joining us. A massive, massive couple of days in Melbourne. A great time to be a sports fan in Australia right now. Here's the Sydney Kings starting lineup, coming off a really, really impressive win against Brisbane on Saturday. 37 points, their biggest win of the season. Gazy and Cope spoke about it already. They made Xavier Cooks a priority, and it paid dividends. And for Melbourne United, steady all season long. They are undefeated at 9-0. Tanner Krebs continuing to start. Chris Golding continuing to come off the bench. They are two powerhouses here in the NBL. Two heavyweights going head-to-head. And in this corresponding fixture, Cup Eve last year, it was a 4-point thriller between the two teams. And we start with a bit of Greco-Roman.
I'm looking forward to this one, Jack. Let me tell you something. Some key matchups on this floor. Walker versus Kendrick Davis. Can Davis do his thing, Joy?
No, that's right. Well, we just need to get a little bit more elevation on the jump ball. This time it was a whole lot better. But you're right, there are some intriguing matchups, and the small ball that the Sydney Kings are going to play a lot of the game, and how Melbourne United are going to counter that will be of interest.
Dellavedova had 7 assists.
They're doing it.
I asked you that question in the warm-up, didn't I? I asked you that. They are booing him.
Kendrick Davis comes up with it. Suarez walks into a 3 in transition. And it's taken care of by Tanner Krebs.
Pace of play. Sydney Kings have slowed it down a little bit the last couple of rounds, and it was on full display against Brisbane. They were methodical in the way in which they cut the Brisbane Bullets apart on the offensive end, and the ball movement was the best we'd seen all season. And, Coach, you can't undersell how important Xavier Cooks is to that. 24 points, the free throws were dropping. He makes a big difference when he plays like that.
Well, look, he's an ex-MVP. He was always going to get his stuff together, and I spoke about it. He's not that far off of his MVP season. He averaged 15 his MVP season. Now he's averaging 12 points a game. He's right there.
He draws an early foul, Tyson Walker, on Xavier Cooks. We saw him up close on Saturday night, Drewy, the Sydney Kings, and they got the ball in Xavier Cooks' hands early, made him a priority, and you could just see his body language. It's like he felt important. It's like he felt like he mattered.
Yeah.
And they had a big win.
Yeah, and he's so versatile when he can catch it at the elbow and rip it and get it to the rim. And the other thing they did do, which really helped his confidence, they were able to get out in transition. Had a couple of nice dunks, got his confidence going. And even situations like this, Edwards, that's tough. That's tough for Edwards
to go. And that's what he do. That's right. That's going to be tough. They're going to change that matchup because he's coming full speed at Edwards. Edwards is good, but he ain't that good.
He got a running start there, Xavier Cooks. 2 apiece. Delaney is very good when the team's played in round 4. Gets an early bucket of his own.
Paul and Walker having some heated words off the ball.
Davis and Walker, another battle, which is going to be worth watching.
Joy, do you hear the boo birds, Joy? I told you it was going to happen.
That surprises me.
Why? He plays for another team. Well, what's surprising about that?
Cooks was one on the clock. Scores.
If Cooks gets going.
Well, he is going. Now, they're going at him as well. He's already picked up the 1 foul.
Doyle gave it up, an uncharacteristic error. Qual for Davis. Great start, Kings. Timeout, Melbourne. It's all happened in the first 2 minutes. Just like Saturday night, Sydney are on the road with the right mindset.
Well, it's an early timeout. It's 6-4. It's not like they're on a 10-0 run or anything. Just Dean Vickerman not happy with the turnover, and I guess not happy with what he's seen on the defensive end.
Whenever Dean gets that stank face, you know something's wrong. He had it too, let me tell you.
So an early timeout from Dean Vickerman. He didn't like some of the things that he was seeing. Matthew Dellavedova returning to John Cain Arena for the first time wearing opposition colours. And we caught up with him pre-game.
Delly, return to Melbourne. We know you've played Melbourne United before already in the season, but return to Melbourne, we know they love you here. How's it feel to be back?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to be back, catch up with family, see familiar faces.
What about from your ex-team? Is there anyone that you catch up with during the week when you come into a game like this? Do you have any chats, or you sort of keep it professional?
I mean, we played in Brisbane on Saturday night, so quick turnaround this time, but I'll catch up with all the boys soon.
95 games with Melbourne United, joined Sydney this year on a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
Some early boos.
It is, and he did a lot for in a relatively short period of time. He did a lot for this franchise, and the fans here, if he's not there, do they get to 2 grand finals? Do they get to those chances where they had some heartbreaking moments? So it's, Sydney Kings offered 3 years and United offered 2. It's not like, at his age, you can understand why he wanted to make the move.
Tanner Krebs over the top of Davis. Tough jumper. Knocked out of his hands. Kelsey, you were listening to Dean Vickerman.
I was, but it was more about the look from Chris Golding when the boos rung out as Xavier Cooks goes and drops that 2 as well. He was not happy with it. He looked around as if to say, what's going on? I wasn't expecting this to happen. Dean Vickerman also said, I want to run this group out for the next 4 minutes. This is not good enough on the defensive end. This is becoming a battle between Delaney and Cooks.
You see Melbourne United, they lead the league in free throw makes, and you can see why. They put so much pressure on the defense with their attack at the rim.
And Kendrick Davis, 19 points, 7 assists on Saturday night against the Bullets. Suarez created some space. Rebound Melbourne, Milton Doyle. Extra pass, Krebs for Delaney. Rattles out. Dellavedova taking matters into his own hands. Was stripped. Tanner Krebs was the thief. Now Melbourne settle in. Dean Vickerman says too slow. Get it moving. Delaney, extra pass for Edwards.
That's great ball movement right there. The ball didn't touch the floor. Swing, 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 dunk.
And really good set play to deal with what the defense is doing on the hard show. The hockey assist, one more pass. It's a good reaction, and that set that they run for what the defense is doing. Have a look here. There it is. See, the help comes. So they're playing 2-on-1, and the ability to thread the needle in that situation, it's to their credit. They've done that a few times in practice for sure.
Xavier Cooks comes out. Kawatnoy, Jalen Galloway in.
They did this on Saturday, Jack. It's by the clock. There's something by the clock right now because Cooks has got off to a really, really good start. He won't be long on the bench, and handy replacement as Noy comes in and just knocks his first shot down.
Are they picking on Delaney here or what?
Instant offense, Kawatnoy. Speaking of instant offense, Chris Golding walking to the scorer's table. Walker gets in deep. Great D. Galloway fell into the arms of Edwards. Wow, he scores from close range.
He's long, Jack. He just turns around and his arms are in. Gadget man, arms are in the ring.
Tight and tense early. Kendrick Davis has got 4 early points.
Really tough. Sometimes you just got to accept that good offense can beat okay defense.
22 points this season, runner-up in last year's MVP. Great take from Walker. These two teams trading blows in the opening quarter. We expected nothing less. Points are good with 1 to come.
Here we go.
What a start by the Kings. 7 of 11 from the field. And with all the threes that we've been seeing this season, both teams only attempted 1 3-pointer. And nothing wrong as far as an entertainment package when you can make shots like that.
What's fascinating is the subs are better than the guys that are starting on both teams. Bring them off. Man, we got some talent on both teams.
Melbourne United lead the league in bench points. Sydney Kings 3rd in the competition for bench points. So both teams with plenty of backup. Walker drives and scores.
Nice action. Full qual testing the limits of the officials with how he's guarding Chris Golding off the ball.
Kings by 1. Martin Kristovich into the game with the rebound. And Dean Vickerman once again tells them to push the tempo. Wild one from Finn Delaney. Oh, that's a trap.
Quick trouble. I've seen a whole lot worse not called.
You're saying it's not like the Giannis call the other day in the NBA?
Did you see that?
Not just Giannis.
Now, the Giannis thing was ridiculous, man. He went to the 7-Eleven, came back, and then...
and forgot something, went back in.
Both teams bringing the changes. Tom Wilson in, Dash Daniels as well. Whoa. Suarez last to touch that. Melbourne ball.
He might have been the last to touch it, but somebody touched him.
Look out for my guy. That's a push. He pushed him out of bounds. Okay.
Tommy Wilson.
What are you doing?
Might have been a little unlucky not to get the foul. Quite vertical.
Wilson with the inbound. Melbourne, normally experts in this situation. Golding got away from Quoll and makes him pay.
We take it for granted the greatness of Chris Golding.
The Bull Quall's trying to bump the cutter and then get around. There's no way. You got to stick with your guy.
Wasn't that far off him. That's just a tough shot that he's able to make. Going away from the bucket.
Dash Daniels into the game. Had the big assignment a couple of weeks ago, spending time on Bryce Cotton. He's got a big role to play tonight. Krislovic unsuccessful. Davis goes to work. He's had a couple of good opportunities, Kendrick Davis, 3 of 5 in this opening term. Wilson trying to manufacture something for Golding. The hand in the face, long rebound Bowen. Golding lines it up again and draws contact.
Smart play.
Really smart by Chris Golding. He knew that Bull Quall's been wearing him like a cheap suit and just knew that he was going to be there, and the head, that's the one, the catch and shoot. I know what you're saying, Copes. You got that little bit of separation, and that's just heads up play by Golding. Bull Quall, one of the elite defenders in the competition, just because of the tenacity
If there's
that
a
he
very
shows.
clear separation between the two, then maybe. But there's not. It's like ball all over the arm. If you're sure, you can challenge it.
Hey, I get it, but this is not a shot. That's not a shot.
Hey, I'm right there. You go straight.
No, that's
you
not
want,
a
you want
shot.
the same
You
call.
don't shoot like that,
You want the same call.
Y'all ain't gave us nothing.
Kendrick Davis just came in and wanted his
Game just started.
I've
been calling that all night. Come on, man.
Golding takes care of the first two, an 88% free throw shooter. Across the season, a delayed start because of a soft tissue injury.
He hasn't missed a beat. Let me tell you.
Well, right now, he is the microwave coming off the bench. A little over 18 minutes, almost 18 points a game. That's great production.
Quall draws the whistle at the other end.
Blue, 18.
You spoke about Georgian bringing Cooks out, and it's a timing thing. But if Cooks is rolling like that, why would you bring him off the floor?
Well, they've got their substitution patterns. They want to play at a level of intensity. They want to ensure that they get the right rest for him. And I just feel that it was only a couple of minutes. So I hear, and it was the same.
I say that to say this. When you were cooking, and your dad say, Drewy, come off, which never, ever happened. If he did, you would have lost your mind.
No, not at all.
What? Jack, you hear him, Jack?
I wanted to hear his response and hear him try and talk his way out of that.
Drewy, you're cooking.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you to an extent, but the game and the pace at which the game is played these days.
So that's the change, is it then? It's the way that the game's played and the pace of it?
Yeah, and the intensity and the requirements on the defensive end. Now, that's a broader overview, but I appreciate what Coach is saying. When you get in that groove, have a look at off the ball. He gets pushed in the back a little there by Galloway.
And Chris Golding getting a lot of attention from Bull Quall. It's physical out there. First versus sixth. Davis picks the pocket of Wilson and scores from it. Quicker than a hiccup.
Dean Pregame is not a happy camper.
He is lightning, Kendrick Davis, when he gets into that sort of flow. Nice finish from Dash Daniels. This occasion will not be too much for the youngster. 22-19, Kawhi Noy tied up. Daniels fumbles the rebound. Easy two for Qual. This is a different Sydney Kings lineup that we're seeing tonight. They're full of confidence. They've sorted a few issues out. Oh. Wow. Golding not far away.
Think there was a foul there, Drew?
Didn't quite see it.
Cooks is able to get another running jump at this one. Here's Steve Krislovic. And Wilson at the top of the key. Shot clock winds down to 10. Krislovic takes up his position. Premium look for Daniels. No good. Qual backs down on Golding. He'll like it in that position, and does. Sydney back in front.
He's so strong. Got the size. I love to see when a big guard backs down on these little guards.
He can transform this team full Qual if he can be a little more consistent than we've seen at the start of the season. Because he can be so strong at both ends of the floor. He is a pit bull on the defensive end. And you see on the offense, that size around the bucket can knock down the three. Great start by both these teams. Love the intensity.
Certainly look a lot different than the Sydney Kings when they started the season. They look like they're finding their flow, they're finding their way. And guys know their positions now. In the beginning of the season, we talked about Delly and you know, Delly playing in that two spot and if he could or not. Seems to be finding his way there.
Saturday night against Brisbane, Copes, they had 30 assists on 42 made field goals.
That's amazing.
So the ball moved. Dellavedova had 7 of those. Do you feel like they're starting to work it out now, do you?
I think so. It looks better. It looks a whole lot better. And you know, Cooks is the reason why. Because he's back to his old self. He's aggressive. He's got the ball in his hands, and he's pushing the ball down the floor.
And the pace has just slowed down a little. That's a nice set.
You spoke about backdoor earlier.
With the backdoor play, there's a pin down. Chris Golding trying to top lock it. And a much underrated passer is Xavier Cooks as well. If you get open, he'll find you the ball. But yeah, the Sydney Kings, the last couple of weeks, there's a noticeable adjustment in their rotations and the speed at which they're playing. Still got this emphasis on the penetration, but they're prepared to get it, usually get it through a few hands.
Dellavedova left open, got it!
Usually the ball's in Walker's hands or Delly's hands. Cooks is starting his offense, and that's the difference for me.
Walker trying to find his way through. A little drop off for Kyle Bowen.
The hold for the last possession here.
Tell you what, though, 28 points is a lot of points in this first quarter. Dean would be happy with that.
And Melbourne across the season, Coach, only allow 18 in first quarters. So some conversations to be had and some conversations to be had about how they stop Xavier Cooks. He's got 8 points in the opening quarter. Sydney have a 5-point lead at John Cain Arena. This is quarter time here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Well, it's been a physical and intense start here in Melbourne. The Sydney Kings leading Melbourne United by 5 at quarter time. I listened in to Dean Vickerman. It was all about the offensive end. He said, let's get the ball moving. It's too stagnant for us at the moment. He took about a minute 30 talking with Dave Barlow to come up with that, though. So plenty for Dean Vickerman to think about in this quarter.
Yeah, this is uncharted territory for Melbourne United, coach. You mentioned just before quarter time, very rarely, if ever, do they let 30 points through in an opening quarter of a game. So full credit to Sydney.
Absolutely. Again, we spoke about how Sydney looked. Sydney looked very good. Cooks is running the show. Guys are scoring. Kendrick Davis 4 for 6. Cooks 4 for 5. Bull Quall 3 for 3. So the big guns are getting the job done.
Doyle still yet to get going for Melbourne. Big offensive rebound by Edwards. He's so long.
Be a foul called on Matthew Dellavedova, and yeah, in that first quarter, bench points, which has been a strength of Melbourne United this season. 40% of their scoring has come from the bench, which is the highest mark of any team, and 11-2 in the first quarter. And points in the paint, both these teams getting into the paint, 16-22. 22 of the Kings' points in that first quarter came from inside the paint.
So is that a change from earlier in the season?
Well, they were getting in there, but perhaps not as efficient early on. And one thing Sydney do is they take care of the basketball.
Dellavedova has already knocked down one from that spot. It felt good, so why not do it again?
Oh, he's coming, you know, it's like you come back into a venue that you're familiar with, you feel comfortable. Only shooting it at 12% before the start of this one from the three-point line, and he's 2 of 2.
Barely required offensively on Saturday. Good contribution here. Delaney responds. Drags it back to a three-point game.
Walker does a really good job of fishing and finding open guys. Oh.
Yeah, they got some options that they could go to, and this is one that's going to be tough for Edwards because he's allowing him to get a running start. Sure, Cooks is not a threat, but he's a threat to shoot it, but he's a threat as a passer, and we saw the back cut when you play off him. And when you can get a run-up at your defense, it's harder to influence where he's going to go. So they've got that much matchup that they can go to. But also, Bull Quall, that last possession, it might have just been because of the matchups on that one, but they had Walker on Bull Quall. You could put it on, you saw what happened in that first quarter, throw it to him in the box. It's got a big size and strength advantage.
Cooks goes 1 of 2. The free throw line has not been a happy place for him this season. 31% from there coming into tonight. He's having a lot of fun out there. 9 points on 4 of 5. Walker for Doyle. Nice pass. Good finish.
And the problem is, again, Walker's fishing, and Sydney sink when he gets past the free throw line. Everyone sinks. What do you mean? Oh, Della's on fire.
Oh, and he looks over at Dean Vickerman, too. Wow. What's with that?
Like, as if Dean said, let him shoot.
It's his 3rd triple of the night, Matthew Dellavedova.
Well, you can understand why they'd be giving him some latitude, given the way that he shot the 3-ball to start this season, and in fact for big chunks of his career.
3 of 24 coming into tonight. Doyle can't connect that time. Galley's playing like a man possessed right now. Galloway throws that one into the stands. And he comes down for a rest, Jalen Galloway. Kendrick Davis back in. Tim Suarez and Jesse Edwards is becoming a really interesting battle inside the paint. There's a lot of holding, there's a lot of pushing, a lot of grabbing.
And guys are hitting the floor. Those are 2 big boys.
Brazil versus the Netherlands. The 2 big men tonight. Tim Suarez, the Brazilian. Kings lead it by 4. Walker surveys all of his options. And he gives it up.
Travelling. That's the 4th turnover for Melbourne United. As I mentioned there, Sydney Kings just incredible this season, only averaging 7 turnovers a game. That is phenomenal at the pace at which they play it.
Dellavedova can't repeat the dose. Walker into the paint, draws a foul on Suarez. That'll be his first.
And he looked like he went straight up on that. And Gorge is having a look as if to say,
Still looking, Brian Goorjian, and Sean Bruce getting some first half minutes. His last 3 games, Sean Bruce has only played 2, 2 and 4 minutes. He's barely been required by Brian Goorjian, but clearly there's a need for him to be out there to do something specific.
And he's good enough to come in like that and knock down a couple of shots too. He has that experience. He's been there.
He's a Horsham boy originally, country Victoria.
Well, now Delhi's made a couple of shots as well. He can play off the ball, and you've got to respect him. 3 or 4 on the night from the 3-point line. You've got to get out there. Now, remember a couple of seasons ago against the Illawarra Hawks, he had like 9 of them in a single game, so he can get hot. So he might have laid off him a little, but now you've got to start respecting him.
Suarez down the middle. Fouls on Krebs. Edwards got a good piece of the ball.
I love how after every play, the players go to the little twirl. They call it on
Krebs.
Yeah. That's 2. Tim Suarez, championship winner in the 2023 season with the Sydney Kings team. He's come back in and just plays his role. Swims between the flags. Doesn't try anything that he doesn't have in his kit bag.
Yeah, don't try to do too much, but he's solid.
Well, 61% from the field, 45% from the 3-point line. Not quite in that 50, 40, 90 category, only 81% from the free throw line. But he's been really consistent for the Kings.
Doyle only the 1 made field goal in the game. Gets to work, the crossover, and scores.
That's nice. It's only his 4th field goal attempt, and he's just seems like he's made the decision to inject himself into the game a little.
We know he can go an entire game without scoring, and if you give it to him at the end, he is pretty much guaranteed.
He's very, very important in their round 4 win when the 2 teams matched up in Sydney earlier in the season. Milton Doyle, 16 points on 6 of 11. Melbourne have won 6 of their last 7 against the Sydney Kings. There's not many teams that could say that in recent seasons. Oh, it's a hard landing for Krebs.
Gordon said, get his hands off everybody.
I think George wants a timeout.
So he gets his timeout here, Brian Goorjian, but the exchange with the official here is the interesting one. He's trying to argue his case. One thing that can't be disputed is that his team have turned up to John Cain Arena with exactly the form and the momentum they had from Saturday night with their win over the Brisbane Bullets. Sydney lead by 2. Let's get over to Kelsey Brown. She's got an international sports star with her.
I do. What a pleasure it is to interview Earl Thomas. Earl, you're a Super Bowl champion. You're part of the Legion of Boom. But you're here in Melbourne and you've been doing a lot around the country. Can you tell us about your last few days?
Oh, it's been great. First of all, I want to say it's been a great game so far. I'm a big NBA fan, and it's good to see Delhi out here, all the work he did with LeBron, and to see him get hot out there from 3, it's really a sight to see. But yeah, I've been having a great time out here in Australia. The Australia fan base has been amazing. I went to some cricket games. I went to see the Hawthorne Hawks facility. I actually went to the beach as well, had some coffee, enjoyed Blitz and the cheerleaders, so it's been a great experience.
You've done plenty. You're going to the Melbourne Cup tomorrow. I hear you've got the outfit all sorted. No doubt that you're going for Melbourne United tonight. You think they're going to win this one?
I'm going United.
We love it. Thank you so much for your time. It's awesome to see you out there. Enjoy the rest of the game.
All right, there's so much involved in basketball that I love. So this is a great experience for me and all the Seahawks organization that is here with me today.
Nice. Earl Thomas has been in town. I saw him in the cricket on Friday night. Actually, yeah. I think he's going to go home with about 7 shirts.
Was he meant to have that on backwards, or was that
sure.
a statement or something?
What are you going to ask him?
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, sir. Wrap it up, big fella. Wrap it up.
They had the whole Seahawks theme. They had the dances at the halftime in the Seahawks outfit.
Physical out there. Let's see what adjustments Melbourne United could make. Edwards might have got away with a tackle. Just leans up and drops it in.
Gadget man, I keep saying it. He's got the longest arms.
Scores tied at 38. Davis trying to find an avenue to the cup. In the end, swings to Dellavedova. He can't add to his 9 points.
And then that's sort of a problem when Davis dribbles the air out of it. No one's moving. It looks better when Cooks brings it down and everyone's moving off the ball.
And he was trying to direct Suarez for a back cut or cut to the basket.
Delaney, size advantage over the top of Sean Bruce, exploits it. Melbourne take the lead. They've scored the last 6 in the game. The first half has been small margins. Not a lot between these two. Bodies go down everywhere. Tanner Krebs finds a way through. Doyle. No good. Long rebound, Delaney. Krebs lines it up himself. He can't score. Melbourne hit the O-glass.
Wow, that was a let-off. 3 really good looks.
Pass down the middle. Great pass. Great vision.
And Edwards just maybe a little disappointed with what happened, and an off the ball call, a blocky foul, and Suarez tried to jump in front of Edwards.
Hey, they're going at it too, Jack. You said it. Bodies flying everywhere.
So just a little slow to get up. Oh, hello. And then there's...
So Brian Goorjian wants to challenge this.
I don't know how... he can win this one. I don't like the play when you just jump in front of someone.
So now you've got Kelly LaPepe out there arguing with the official.
Have a look.
Brian Goorjian.
What's just not happening?
Is that a foul?
Well, technically it is, but I don't like the play. No, I don't like it when the guy's just running down in transition. I think Brian's trying to challenge it, is it?
Brian, please don't
It was a dirty play behind.
Don't touch.
Can you ask?
Don't touch.
And that's the... Brian saw the trip.
Goorjian ran across the floor to have a conversation with the ref.
During a
challenge is successful.
During a coach's challenge. So coach's challenge is successful. Wow.
And you know why it's successful? You saw him shuffling his feet, moving, I guess.
Scott Butler's in the replay centre. Take us through that one, please.
Gentlemen, so you look at Suarez's movements. He provides time and distance to the offensive player moving without the ball. He establishes position in front. The contact itself should be considered marginal, and there's no call on the play, so we wipe the foul and restart in the backcourt with United on the sideline.
Thank you very much, Scott Butler, head of officiating. Good explanation there.
And I like the decision because it's the type of play we don't want to see coming into the game. And if you get rewarded for that type of play, you're going to see a whole lot more of it.
Yeah.
Brian was upset not at that. He was not complaining about that. It was what took place beforehand that Brian Goorjian was upset about.
He called it a dirty play.
Delaney backs in, has 9 points, the New Zealander. That time, the options are closed down. Golding in the face of Kawatnoy. He's long on the 3 ball. Xavier Cooks drags that in. Davis feeds Bullquoll. Down in the low block. He's already muscled his way in there once tonight. Found the cutter. Great pass for Noy.
Great pass, great cut. Again, they're scoring a lot of points in the paint, Drew.
Doyle's pass intercepted. Out of this timeout, Sydney have got a full head of steam, and Cooks has got a running start. Kristovic did well not to foul. Doyle with his head down to the cup. Pass intercepted again. It fell back into his lap. Still 3 minutes and 35 remaining in this first half. It's been an eventful one. Feed Xavier Cooks. He attracts a crowd.
A lot of body. A bunch of bodies banging in there.
Yeah.
So let them play.
Both teams going at it.
Another Milton Doyle turnover. Sydney with the advantage. Davis always knows where to be.
Kings had 3 bad turnovers, or 2.5 bad turnovers in the last 3 plays.
Another lead change here at John Cain Arena. Sold out crowd tonight. Melbourne Cup Eve. We are seeing a really, really good contest. Yeah, the chair pulled out. Still was able to find a way.
Wow. What noise. Can let it fly, son.
It is.
It's going.
And he hit it off so quick. Doesn't get it high on the forehead. It's really shooting from the chin.
Doyle for Daniels.
I think they're willing to give that, let him take that shot.
31% for the season. Davis on the move. Will be shooting free throws. Here's the Amy replay.
It's just quick. Comes, gets to his spot, doesn't need a lot of time or separation. Pulls a quick trigger. Gets it to drop. What a game.
Kendrick Davis looks a little bit slow to get going. He's so quick with ball in hand. He ends up in the front row.
Yeah, every time Bullquoll's got the ball on the box, good things have happened. And it's something that I reckon they should look at that a little more, because so far I haven't seen Melbourne United figure out the solution.
He's so much bigger and stronger than most guards that he's guarding now. So it's easy for him to post up and back down, but he's making the right decisions here. You're right, he's not forcing it. He's making that next pass, and they're getting open layups.
They're doing it again tonight, Sydney. 11 assists on 19 makes. They're at their best when the ball's moving.
Oh, my.
5-10. Grab, bonus 2.
And Cooks picks up his second. Sydney over the limit.
And George wants a timeout.
Timeout.
He's got that pensive sort of look about him here, Brian Goorjian.
He wants to have a chat to the officials again.
He walks away this time and heads to the bench. 48-44. Sydney lead. They have led for most of this first half. With 1:59 remaining. There is still a lot that can play out. It's a full house, as I mentioned. Here's our Pump by Reebok seats tonight. There's Brooke Burton as part of Multicultural Rounds. She's an author, a media personality. She's an advocate for First Nations representation. And she's a big basketball fan. Great to have her here tonight.
I tell you, we heard the Australian national anthem sung in the Indigenous language.
Yes.
And I know there's a whole bunch of different languages out there, but it was beautiful. It was spectacular.
It really was. It really was. And shout out to all of the teams over the course of round 6 and round 7. It's been Indigenous round here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Every team has done an outstanding job, from the designs of the jerseys and the stories behind them, Coach, the different things they've had at each game as well. All 10 teams have really got behind this.
And we say this every single year, but the uniforms get better and better I don't know how they can do it. Every year they get better and better.
If you like what you see there, jump online, nblstore.com.au, scan the QR code.
Brian's still working those referees, bro. He's been doing it for 100 years.
He's toned it down since he got tossed in a game that he shouldn't have been tossed, but he got tossed.
Sure, you ever been tossed?
No. And neither should have Brian.
No, he fell, Chris.
Relatively quiet first half for Chris Golding. He's just crawled his way up to 8 points. On a 4 from the field.
Gully starts to play that bully ball now. He's so much stronger than most guards that are guarding him. It just knocks him out of the way.
He's a little fend off and then lines up Tim Suarez.
You can't do that, Suarez. Too good. Wide open from the three-point line. If they're going to hard show, the pick and pop's going to be on for Suarez.
Shot clock at 10. Walker in the mid-range. That's nice. 9 points for Tyson Walker. 4 assists.
He is so good.
And a good first half contribution. And Davis going head-to-head. Kawatnoy. Not that time. Davis for 3.
And Dean wants another timeout here.
A momentary lapse in concentration by Melbourne United, and Kendrick Davis cashes in.
There's a difference between the start to the season for the Sydney Kings, where they were putrid from the three-point line. Against Brisbane, they were around 41, 42%. And again tonight, 6 of 13 at 46%. It makes a profound impact when you can knock down the three ball at a consistent rate.
So Melbourne undefeated to start the season. They are 9-0. It's the first time that any team has done that since Melbourne did it in 2015-16. Here is just some context of the best runs of all time. That Geelong Supercats team of 1984 started 15-0 and went to the semi-final series. The one that really sticks out here and tonight, particularly with Brian Goorjian back in the building, Copes, is the 03-04 Sydney Kings team, who were a brilliant team who went on to win the championship.
Absolutely. And when you start off like this, Drew, it's hard to let yourself down. I mean, obviously you have the right tools to get to that far. And as long as you can stay healthy, you give yourself a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd much prefer to have a solid start and deal with the pressures that come along with that.
And there's pressures, and there's pressures.
And there's big pressures. But you'd much rather deal with those pressures than the alternative of digging yourself a huge hole and trying to find a way out of it.
I'll tell you what, though, when you got to dig yourself a hole, it's a little bit fun. It's fun. It's fun coming out.
A lot of it's timing too. You want to be playing your best basketball at the business end of the season, and it's all about just qualifying. How high you can qualify. Certainly qualifying the way our system's built is getting the top 2. That's the objective of the regular season for most of the clubs.
So Peter Siddle in the crowd. Ooh. Golding with a late change of decision. Now a late clock for Walker. Good fall-away jumper goes. He's into double figures, Tyson Walker.
Somebody better resign him straight away. Give him a 3-year deal.
And United get the ball back. Here's Kyle Bowen. His push does a lap. Suarez is like a suction cup in his hand. Snatched that thing out of the air.
Barely a second difference between the game clock and the shot clock, so should be the last possession of the game. Of the half, I should say.
Davis with ball in hand. Walker not leaving his side. Doyle from half court, he got it away, and it almost dropped. Sydney maintain their slender lead away from home. They lead by 4 at half-time, but this is tense, and it's starting to become a little bit testy between these two teams as well.
54 points is a lot of points and a half, Jack, and I can tell you right now, Dean Bigman would not be happy.
Sydney looking to go 2-0 for the round. And they've made a very, very good start. Let's get over to Kelsey Brown.
They have made a very good start. I'm here with Xavier. How have you seen the first 20 minutes?
It's a physical game. It's a game of runs. I mean, they're a very talented team. They're going to keep coming. We had a pretty good half so far.
You guys have come out a lot more physical, a lot more aggressive. Do you think that's how you've focused on coming into this one?
I think that's our key to success, bringing the physicality, using our pace, using our advantages. I think we're a little bit soft to start the year. We're trying to turn it up a little bit.
Thanks so much for your time. Good luck in the second. 50 plays 54. Sydney Kings lead here in John Cain Arena. We've got plenty more to break down after this. Don't go anywhere. Myself, Gazy and Leonard will bring you all the halftime highlights. Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. It's John Cain Arena that has been lit up tonight by a fierce contest between the Kings and Melbourne United. Melbourne United find themselves in uncharted territory as Byron Gorgon likes what he sees in that first 20 minutes. How have you seen this first 20 minutes, Gazy? What do you like about it?
Well, the big thing that sticks out is the rebounding count. That's in favour of Melbourne. But on the offensive end, it's the three ball. 6 of 13 is outstanding. And for top two three-point shooting team in the competition, Melbourne United, the Sydney Kings have done a great job of taking away the three ball, 3 of 14. So very little in it. We've got a great game on our hands.
There's plenty happening across the court, but Kendrick Davis is one of the ones that's lighting it on fire at the moment. Leonard, what do you like about Kendrick?
I like the fact that he's slowing down and he's finding his way. You know, he's not forcing anything. He's getting other people involved. He's 6 for 10 from the field. And look, he's playing professionally now. He's out here doing his thing. He's not getting into any riff-raff with the players. He's just being a professional player.
He is, and he can do it in so many different ways. Knock down the three, which hasn't been one of the stronger points, but he is a tough cover. Left, right, mid-range. although he's undersized, he can still finish in the tall timber and get out on the break. He is a genuine handful to defend.
Do you know what Kendrick Davis likes? A fast break. I know he loves to get out and get those ones down. The other one who's been doing very well for Sydney Kings is Daly, and we'll get to him in a moment. But have a look at this from Kendrick Davis as we look at the Blackmores shot chart. 15 points, 6 from 10, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, which was a very nice one. What do you think he needs to bring in this second half?
Well, let me tell you something. When you got 1 assist, that means you're trying to score the rock. And I know how it is when a guy's not passing the ball. He's trying to get it off. He's 15 points and a half, and Dean wouldn't be happy with that because he's playing at his own pace again.
His partner in crime in the backcourt is Daly. We spoke to him pre-game. He's come out. He's been very good from deep.
Yeah, really surprised at the reception he's got from some of the Melbourne United. I'm really surprised. But he's come out and made a point. He got the 3-ball going. 3 of 3 to start the game. He ended up 3 of 5 in the first half. But the 9 points. But with Daly, it's not just about the points, the assists. He can find people. He's elite at that. He's been decent on the boards. A good all-round game for Daly. He seems to be finding his groove.
And
he knocked
down a 3, and he gave Dean Bickerman a little look to say, "How dare you back off me? This used to be my home. I can still shoot the 3-ball," and that's what he's done.
And Dean, I think, Mumble, you're only shooting 12% on the season. You need to make a few more before we close out.
Well, speaking of Dean Bickerman, what do you think he said to the troops at halftime? What do you think they need to do in this second?
Well, Copes' point is valid, 54 points. I don't think their defense has been terrible by any stretch. It's just been some really good offense. Some of the turnovers, it's led to some easier transition baskets. Very, very little margin in it. Points in the paint, almost even. We saw how separated it was in the first quarter, but 26 to 28. So I think he'd like a lot of what he saw, but just a few minor points here or there would be the difference.
All right, one word, quick tip. Who's winning?
I'm going with Melbourne United.
Casey?
Melbourne United. I don't like agreeing with him, but Melbourne United.
We love it. We've got plenty more hoops coming your way this week. We've got an Ignite Cup game on Wednesday night between Illawarra and this Melbourne United team. So much to look forward to in terms of hoops. The Illawarra Hawks looking to get a win against this Melbourne United team. Don't go anywhere. Second half action after this.
back out for Hickey. What a roar!
Davo goes upstairs, elevates and celebrates. Will Davo Hickey.
You know, the recognition of Indigenous players and, you know, speaking about Davo, to celebrate First Nations people, to try and see more of them play basketball at the highest level and see what they've done, you know, for the AFL and how unbelievable they can be, and just kicking a goal, grabbing a ball, being evasive, and, you know, I think Davo does a lot of those things for our league. I had great learnings having him at our club. The people of the past, Jarwise, the Paddy Mills, all these guys, to say, yeah, just love to see more Indigenous talent in our league, and if we can continue to have this round where we celebrate it and we do get more kids into the game, it'd be great.
The past fortnight has been a wonderful celebration of Indigenous culture, their contribution to the great sport of basketball. And as I mentioned in the first half, big shout out to all of our teams for their involvement over the last couple of weeks in Indigenous round. Here at John Cain Arena, in front of a sold-out crowd, it is 54-40. The Sydney Kings have been ultra impressive in this first half, Leonard Cope.
They have. They shot the ball extremely well. They're playing at their own pace. Cooks, for me, got the thing started, though, because he came down, he was aggressive, he got to the basket. He looked like Cooks of old. And when they play like that, the talent alone is going to keep you in the game.
Melbourne United have done a good job on the boards. They lead that category like we saw at the half-time, 23-15, so that is an advantage. But it's the defense. You look at the 55, and it'd be interesting to get Dean's thoughts, because to me, it's not like the defense was terrible. They had some couple of breakdowns, but the defense wasn't terrible. But you look up and they've got 54 points.
Let's have a chat to the Melbourne coach, Dean Vickerman. Always grateful for your time. Dean, you seem a bit frustrated. What's been annoying you most tonight?
Yeah, I think after these long breaks, there's just a level of intensity that was off. Some execution. We talked about, trying to slow them down in the first 8 seconds, and I reckon they've got about 30 points in the first 8 seconds, so need to slow their offense down a little bit.
Dean, you call a timeout in the first 2 minutes of the game. Is it something you just did not like?
Yeah, but I challenged them to get to the 4-minute mark playing the right way, and we didn't get there tonight.
Dellavedova blocked by Edwards. Dean, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Cheers.
Dean Vickerman, the coach of Melbourne United. There's Kendrick Davis, which is probably just as well we turned his mic off.
Good on Dean Vickerman and Josh King, what they've done to really give an insight into the game.
Yep.
It's something that we spoke to Josh King before the game yesterday and said, hey, mate, I told him I wouldn't do it, but he was there good enough to do it.
They sure are.
Well done to them.
Josh didn't have an issue with it yesterday, so I'm not sure why others did. 57-50. Starts at Kendrick Davis in this third quarter. There he is, tucked away in the corner. Milton Doyle has just been cruising. What did you see there, Coach?
I don't know about that. That could have very easily been Delhi.
Ruben!
Well, it's something they've been really sensitive about. Any sort of flinching on an on-ball screen, and you're going to get called for a block.
I'd love to see that again. Here we go.
Yeah, he just didn't quite get there in time.
Dellavedova inside for Cooks. This is more like the Xavier Cooks that we've come to know and love.
Well, they're dominant around the low block. Anytime they've got it in there, they've been super efficient. And that time it was Cooks.
Tyson Walker hit the game winner from the opposite corner last weekend.
That was needed too. Generate some offense. Get the second half going for them.
I was interested in Dean Vickerman's comments, Drew, just then about having not played for 8 days versus Sydney, who had a game. Was there a little bit in that? Perhaps have they been a little bit slow to get going, Melbourne United?
Well, to me, it's easy when you're sitting on the sidelines and you don't want what they've done in practice, but to me, that was a really high intense half, really physical, and it's the fine margins that he's seeing some things that specific things that he might have spoken about in preparation that perhaps is not being executed. But the overall, the effort has been pretty good by both these teams.
They're all trying to manufacture a shot. Edwards and Suarez have spent the whole first half tangled up in each other.
That is just...
It's like a 7-foot game of Twister.
And that's back-to-back fouls by Suarez. That's 3 he's got. Now, he is a big piece of what they do because it is a different look when they go with the small ball. And in fact, Brian Goorjian's decided to not go with the small ball, and Goodrick comes into it.
It's been a talking point for a lot of the season with Sydney's Xavier Cooks at the 5 versus the 4. I know that a couple of our commentary team feel that Xavier Cooks at the 5 is a waste, Coach, that he's much more suited at the 4.
Well, you get more. Sometimes you can get more than, I mean, they still got to guard him as well. So, yes, on the other end, he's smaller. But when he has that ball in his hand and he's playing like he's playing today, there ain't a 5-man in this league can guard him.
True, but it's more, I think, to do with the defensive matchups and the system you're running. But the way that with 5 out these days, the difference between 4 and 5, it's not dramatic.
Strong rebound, Cooks fires that out to Goodrick. He's only averaging 4 minutes a game across the season. This is a big game to be involved in. Sent everyone the other way. Can't score, though. Tyson Walker on the move. Doyle spins and scores with one to come.
Yes, he certainly got him on the hand.
Just dropped the Brian Goorjian, can't believe it, but if he looks at the replay, Cooks did everything right as far as keeping Doyle in front, but just watch the hands. So he goes up, straight up, and then they come down. Now, did he hit him a little bit of wrist? A little bit of forearm, not a lot in it.
With all the stuff going on, though, that's
right. The fact that it went in, I don't think any of us would have been complaining if there was no whistle on that play.
59-58. Round 4 the teams played at Kudos Bank Arena, the first game in the Ignite Cup. Melbourne won that one, 107-93. And it's a far more organised and structured Sydney team that we're seeing firstly on Saturday and now tonight. Oh, Delaney in all sorts of space inside the lane. If you're disappointed with that, they'll get another look at.
Wow. Cooks comes out of the game, Noy comes in, so they bring in a perimeter threat to play alongside Goodrick.
I don't know if I like that lineup.
Golden was almost falling out of bounds. He kept it alive. Henrik Davis scores. Timeout, Melbourne. Every time United get close, Sydney have an answer and push them back.
And that arm of Dean goes straight up in the air because he wants a timeout.
Yeah, this is an impressive start by the Kings just to weather that initial storm coming out of the halftime break.
It's really the first time this year that Melbourne have looked flustered. They've looked like they've thrown off their game. Even Adelaide a couple of weeks ago, that was a thriller, but United had it at their style. They trail right now 61-58, and Kelsey Brown has got one of Melbourne United's biggest fans.
She is. I'm here with Danny Minogue, TV personality, Australian singer. Danny, you are Melbourne United's biggest fan, but you've missed half of this season because you've been away for work. But can you tell us how excited you are with the start that they've had to the season?
Look at this venue. It is packed. They've had 9 winning games. We're going for the 10 now. And, like, who's going to beat us? Who's it going to be?
Might be Sydney tonight, we don't know. But you said that you're getting used to this new look lineup. You've been a fan for how many years now?
Well, since my son started playing, so quite a few years, like maybe 5 years now.
And this is a new look lineup. You like what they've put together? You love Dean Vickerman?
I love seeing the new players coming through. Dean is working them hard. I saw him strutting backstage, I don't know what they call it, backstage halftime, and he did not look happy. Like, we need to pull it together now.
We absolutely love it. Melbourne United's biggest fan, Danny Minogue. Thanks for your time.
Great to have Danny Minogue here. Never misses a game. And Jesse Edwards goes to ground. This time it's Dellavedova who requests an immediate challenge. Whether he gets it, though, is another thing. In fact, he does.
Straight away.
We did consult his video coordinator.
The coach is showing replay center. I have Dellavedova basically go down easy and then pull Edwards down around the back of the neck there.
Let's have a look at the challenge here. So Delhi goes down. The call was that he dragged Edwards by the back of the neck. At first glance, looked more like Edwards was off balance, didn't it?
Well, it's a natural reaction when you're falling down to bring. I don't know if he intentionally. Certainly there was a elbow around the neck and the head, but I don't think that was.
Hey, when you get a certain age and you're falling, you want to grab something, Jack.
Just the actions there.
Is that happening to you now?
100%, brother. Whenever I fall, I'm grabbing for anything.
I'm worried because you live on your own. I'm worried.
I think it's going to be hard to overrule, though.
Huh?
Yeah, because it's just the action there. Whether it's they're put in a tough spot, the challenge adjudicators, Scott Butler.
Hours for a pull after the body contact. Running through it.
Certainly not happy, but
Brian Goorjian has been all over the officials all night. He seemed very agitated, Gorge.
He's been like that his whole life.
Those officials. Needs to go back to the diet coach that he had in the 90s. Maybe
and the afro and the fro.
Maybe that calms him down a little bit. Melbourne barely get that ball inbound, and then how the high IQ from Doyle to fire it back into Walker.
I think it was Davis guarding the ball. He just left the guy who inbounded the ball.
1 point separates these teams. And it's been the case all night long. Kendrick Davis flashes to the cup and has 22.
It's not fair. He's just so quick.
But they are just the ease at which Sydney are getting shots in the paint off the bounce. This is unusual for a Melbourne United team to allow that type of freedom. Ditto what we're seeing down the other end.
He's into double figures now, Milton Doyle. Such a massive start to the season. He's just slowed down a fraction in the last couple of weeks. Dellavedova looks at the clock and decides to go himself.
How pretty was that?
And then straight away looks at his former coach. Says, how do you like me now?
Well, it's not like they were being disrespectful. They fought over the top. Maybe a little bit more of a hard show, but he's found his groove on his old court.
4 of 6 from deep. Defies the data coming into tonight. He was shooting at just 12%. Tim Delaney has whistled for the foul. That'll be his third. Here's the Amy replay.
And see, so Milton Doyle fires over the top, and Edwards is not miles away. He's not in a deep drop. That's just good shooting by Delhi. And what a profound difference it makes when you've got Delhi and Davis knocking down the three ball. And it's not just them knocking it down, it opens up those driving lanes that we've been talking about, because the defense is a lot further stretched.
8 of 16 from deep tonight, Sydney. They shoot it at 31% across the season. Melbourne, on the other hand, just 4 of 16 from long range. Oh, misses from close range.
I got to get Cooks back in this game because the way he started.
Galloway sent out of there by Edwards with authority. Paul got it back, though, and has played a really important role for the Kings tonight.
It's the hustle plays. He figures that Edwards does his job, and they're not coming up with it. Sometimes it's just a bounce of the ball, though.
The context of this game, 6 points, is a big margin. Sydney's biggest lead in the game is 9. And if you're just going off body language and what we're seeing courtside here, Coach, Sydney have got the upper hand.
Absolutely they do. I mean, this is good for the league, though. I mean, I know a lot of people think Melbourne are never going to lose. That's impossible in this league. They're going to have an off night. They're going to have an off shooting night. This league's too good to go undefeated I don't care who you are.
Well, that's been the story of this one. 4 of 17 for a team that shoots 36% from the three-point line. They have not been able to make any threes.
Numbers against Kawatnoi. And he slows things down. The Kings looking to push this lead into double figures for the first time tonight. Kendrick Davis.
And they're going to get it back.
Scores.
And they'll get
a foul on Melbourne.
Yeah, it was on the rebound. And a similar one to down the other end, Dellavedova in the box out. Check out Jesse Edwards. Goodrich's there. See the arm around the neck? And that's a foul.
You got a 10-point lead, Jack.
Coach, they are just getting into the paint.
This version of the Sydney Kings is a very, very good team. It is. It's the team that, when they were constructed on paper in the pre-season and everyone does their predictions, seeing what we're seeing tonight is why so many were so high on the Sydney Kings, especially when Kendrick Davis is in this sort of mood.
26 points, 11 of 18. It's been a special performance by him.
And they're taking the crowd out of it too, Jack.
An 11-0 run for the Kings. They are playing like winners. Krislovic. The three ball continues to desert Melbourne. Back up top to Davis, and why not? Isolates Dash Daniels. Takes that clock to 5. Great D from Daniels. Here's Hunter Goodrich. Gets a knockdown of 3 here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. 2 minutes and 36 seconds remaining. It's nice from Tanner Krebs.
And what Sydney's done, they're getting the ball inside, like Dewey said. Most teams don't do that because they're worried about Edwards and the way he blocks shots and the way he intimidates people around that basket. But Sydney are taking the ball to the hole, man. Doing a great job.
Kings 4 and 5 for the season. It was in, and then it was out. Krebs in game number 151. Blocked by Galloway. He gives it up for Bruce. And it doesn't drop. They are just hanging in here, Melbourne United.
They are. They just can't score. 14 points in the quarter so far.
A bullet from Walker. Daniels. Big knockdown.
And that's the one he has to knock down on a consistent basis.
They're not going to ignore him from there, but they're not going to hard close out, that's for sure.
And a couple of looks. That time makes it count. 74-67. Bruce was in the corner for an eternity.
And I said it. He's not playing a lot of minutes, but he's good enough, has enough experience to knock that shot down.
And he just missed from almost the identical spot the play before, and to make that adjustment, it's a little easier when you get it the very next possession from almost the same spot.
Late clock for Walker. Kawatnoi doing a good job to stay in front. Even better offense, though, from Tyson Walker. So 18 points for the night.
He's so good, Jack.
This is a game. This is a seriously high-quality exhibition between two high-quality teams. Galloway's pass knocked down. Davis short on the jumper. Walker retains possession and calls the chase off. Shot clock and game clock almost in unison.
And Dean says flat. Everyone get out.
I don't think he wanted the on-ball.
I wouldn't either. You got a guy with that speed.
Galloway blocks a second shot. Great D. Davis to finish off the quarter. 8 points is Sydney's lead at three-quarter time. They have led at every change tonight. And Melbourne United's undefeated start to NBL 26 is in serious jeopardy. The Kings lead 77-69 here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
This game has given us what we wanted at the start. Melbourne United and the Sydney Kings, and it's the Kings leading the home team 77-69 entering the last term. I listened in to Dean Vickerman and he had plenty to say, but most of all he said this is about who wants it more. This is the time when we actually show what we want. We've had an off night. We've been terrible and we're still right in it.
Well, this is their biggest test now.
It is, and they were tested to the limit against the Adelaide 36ers. Good effort by Xavier Cooks.
Gorge has gone back to his big boys.
We've had 22 lead changes, 10 ties. And it's indicative of this contest. It's been an absolute cracker.
Sean Bruce has been subbed out after 12 seconds. Full call back in, so perhaps Sydney didn't quite get their rotations right. Doyle from the corner.
Well, it is, and it also could be that Brian Goorjian seen the lineup and needed to make some change. Perhaps wasn't aware of how Melbourne United were going to come out for the start of the last quarter.
Full call back into the game, and a really, really good first half.
He's just so strong there. For him to be a guard in that 2 spot, he can guard multiple positions. His size, he's playing a lot smarter these days, which I love, because he's staying on the floor.
10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, plus 9 ball qual. He's Sydney's leader for plus minus for the season at plus 68.
And he does not back down from anyone. We saw him at with South Sudan at the Paris Olympic Games, and whether it's Kevin Durant or here, he plays the same way.
Sydney looking to make it 2 wins in a row after losing 3 of their last 4 coming into this round. Doyle stepping back with confidence. Big rebound to Laney. He scores. He's got an extra on its way.
Nice offensive rebound there. And Gaines almost walked to the other side of the court to tell someone they've missed an assignment, and you better get over there before you come over here. That's what he's saying.
There's no greater motivator than the bench. You can bring in and have some of the greatest motivational speeches, but the bench will get you thinking about.
Is that because you're 1 step closer to unemployment? Is that?
Everyone wants to play at this level.
Tricky little period for Melbourne coming up. Here's Dellavedova. Not that time. Xavier Cooks is having that sort of weekend. The ball's just falling into his lap, even when he's not expecting it. 3 on the shot clock for Galloway.
Well, they made the adjustment there. It was a full rotation on the Suarez. So they on-ball screen. Chris Golding comes from the weak side to rotate on the Suarez to take away the 3 ball.
Melbourne within 4. Doyle cross court for Delaney. He was off balance. There's been a more positive start for United in this 4th quarter, but Xavier Cooks, that is remarkable.
He's killing himself. He is.
Foul 7 from behind.
I love it. When you're in this type of form, and from what he's had to go through, that's clearly a foul. I don't know what there's any complaints about that. But now he's seeing the ball drop. These types of buckets he's able to make.
He's knocking down free throws. Not many, but he's done it than he was.
He was good against Brisbane, relatively speaking.
It's an ominous warning to the rest of the competition. And Xavier Cooks has got his game back. $15 points for Milton Doyle. Krislovic with 2 on the clock. Got rid of Suarez.
Man, Suarez has hit the floor so many times a game.
Yeah.
Oh, just give him a broom, man, the way he's... Come on, bro. Julie. These fans are booing Deli Man.
Looks for the fumble. Lightning pass for Suarez. Delaney on the charge. Comes undone.
Just got a little out of control. See what was there. There's the contact at the end. And falls over. Getting downhill. Cooks does a good job of sliding his feet.
Davis, Dellavedova, Cooks, Suarez, Qual. 5 out there for Sydney. Walker, Daniels, Edwards, Krislovic, and Doyle for Melbourne United. Melbourne Cup Eve basketball at John Cain Arena. This is living up to the hype. 7 minutes remaining. Daniels almost picked the pocket of Davis.
Oh, that's a terrible shot.
When it's your night, it's your night.
Well, he had to shoot it.
Yeah, but he dribbled the air out of it, Julie.
It is, but what about the faith that Dean Vickerman has in Dash Daniels, the youngster, with one of the toughest assignments on the floor right now? 29 points to Kendrick Davis.
And he and Daniels get caught up. Still time for Melbourne. Edwards will be drawing foul number 4 on Suarez. Here's the Amy replay.
Just lost control, almost had it. There's not much more Daniels could have done.
That's a lucky shot.
And I promise you, he did not call bank on that shot.
The bank closed it there.
Cup Eve. Everything was closed in Melbourne today.
And is Gorge going to risk this on the timeout now?
That's a timeout. Now, he's already used one. So shows what Brian Gorgie thinks about this particular phase of the game. How important it is to him. He'll only have one remaining after this one. Whether they go ahead with it now that he's missed that second free throw, maybe not.
That's a shot Flores has to take. He's good enough to make it.
This time he takes it. And that wasn't the one. Doyle can see a path to the basket, goes straight through Cooks. And brings it back to 5 the difference.
Gordon called off that timeout.
But he's anxious.
He is.
He wants another one.
David can't score. There's a scrap underneath to come up with it.
Is that Cooks?
It might be on Suarez.
I think it's Cooks.
It is. Xavier Cooks with the foul. That's his 4th, so he'll have to go to the bench probably with 5 minutes and 47 seconds remaining. Probably around the 3-minute mark, they'll look to get him back in the game. So we got a crucial couple of minutes coming up. Well, Bruce comes back in.
Dellavedova, Cooks off the floor together. Jalen Galloway also not out there. Kyle Bowen. And Chris Golding just 8 points on 1 of 5 for the night. Also not out there. Doyle for Bowen, and then the extra pass for Daniels. The youngster steps up in a big moment.
He's been working on that jump shot, hasn't he?
He has. And then 2 big threes in this last quarter.
But the biggest problem they've got is Kendrick Davis. Suarez, though, misses the gift.
Wow.
They missed a couple down here on this end.
United on a tear. Doyle for the lead.
This long. This joint would have exploded if that had gone in.
They've found their voice now. You can hear a pin drop in this place in the 3rd quarter. The game changing. Sydney nursing a slender lead. Not the one from Davis that time. Walker 1 on 3. Drives and scores. Tied up at 85.
That was that timeout Gordon's been looking for.
What a play by Walker. Straight to the chest of Noy.
Tangerine timeout. We've got the close one on Cup Eve. Hasn't this game changed?
How soon do you get Cooks back, Joey?
Well, I said about the 3-minute mark, you might need to reassess that if they relinquish this lead. It's all tied up right now, but there's nothing in this whatsoever. And it's going to come down to your execution at both ends of the floor. You can't afford any missed defensive assignments. You need to be able to get some high-quality shots. And it's hard because both these teams are elite defending teams.
Matthew Dellavedova marshalling the troops for Sydney. They watched the double-figure lead dwindle away.
And Walker's been great for Melbourne United, getting others involved, but still being able to get himself going as well.
4 minutes and 38 seconds left. Tyson Walker locks this thing away at 85.
Yeah.
And we start again.
And I think the Sydney Kings have got to be a little cautious of just relying on the through ball. Yes, they've shot it well, but where their bread and butter in this game has been getting into the paint. And that last one by Davis, who's had an exceptional night, was a little wild for my liking.
You can see the quarter-by-quarter breakdowns in the bottom part of the screen. 16-8. Melbourne putting up a massive challenge. Noy off balance, took the shot and was denied by Bowen. 4 seconds for Davis. 1 second now.
Wow. No penetration and 2 threes.
Here goes Walker. This time for the lead. It goes!
And what I don't like about Sydney's offense is they put the ball in Kendrick's hands and let him dribble, and everyone's standing there watching. Swing that ball like you did in the first half. That's how you got the lead.
And penetration has been getting 2 feet in the paint. The last 4 or 5 possessions, it's all been threes, and it hasn't been like on kickouts. They've been playing around the perimeter the whole time. They've gone away from what has been so successful throughout most of the game.
Tyson Walker to shoot the extra. Kelsey Brown.
That was not what Brian Goorjian drew up. He actually did say get into the paint. He said drive. We've been utilising that the whole game, and they went out and they did the opposite.
All right. Exact opposite.
Cook's back in the game.
Dellavedova marshalling the troops. That's a good look for Suarez.
Great look.
Sydney are going cold.
He's missed a couple around the basket that he should have made. Sydney has to get back on their defensive grind right here.
All of the momentum with Melbourne United. Bowen for Doyle. Incredible pass into the corner. Daniels with the floater.
Surprised to see no Chris Doyle.
That's, I was about to say the same thing at this stage, but they've had some good minutes without him, and Dean's just rolling with it. Another 3, and this time it goes.
And Dean had a conniption.
This is some sort of night that Kendrick Davis is having. 32 points. 13 of 25, turnover.
Oh, he got fouled, he pulled him off the shorts. Oh, they called it.
That could have been an unsportsmanlike as well, though.
My word, it could have. Have a look. Gets his shorts pulled right there. You can't do that.
Not in the open floor. That's a bad turnover for Melbourne United. A momentum stopper.
Bull Qualt, who hasn't shot a lot of free throws this season, but an 80% free throw shooter across his 153 games in the NBL. He's almost bang on his career average for the season. He's 80.7 on his career, and he's 80.8. That is consistency.
He handles his business there.
Didn't look like missing, did it?
Since the timeout, Sydney have scored 5 unanswered points. It doesn't sound like a lot, but with the way that this game sits at the moment, it is. Edwards with the rebound.
Cooks on the head.
Xavier Cooks has got him on the head, and that's 5 fouls. Xavier Cooks' night is done.
Well, I think they did the right thing. You had to roll the dice. Things were going south for the Sydney Kings. They bring back Xavier Cooks. They go on a little bit of run and get the lead. But that is an outstanding rebound. He just wanted it. Edwards on the glass. Tyson Daniels checks out of the game. Chris Golding comes in. Tyson Daniels. Dash Daniels checks out.
We hope Dyson's out there.
A member of the Daniels family.
Dash checks out of the game, and he has had made an outstanding contribution, this young man, at both ends of the floor.
Well, speaking of contribution, Cooks has been very good as well. I mean, Cooks looks like himself. Although he's fouled out, he got them to this position. And if he's playing like that, then Sydney will look a whole lot better.
Dean Dickerman brings Chris Golding back in. Kawak Noi will have to be there until the end now with Xavier Cooks fouled out for Sydney. 2 minutes and 30 remaining.
A lot of dribbling.
This is what I don't like. And Gordon saying, move it, move it.
Davis demanded the ball back. Full court for 3. That is a big moment.
As he steps back with a smile from ear to ear.
That's a huge bucket.
Edwards down the middle trying to score.
Great tip off the rim. Smart. Suarez.
All fair and legal.
You got to get a good shot here. Use the ball. Don't turn it over.
Oh. Davis fell over. Dellavedova goes to plan B, which is to handle it himself off the glass.
And Bull Quall is playing a game.
Good shot. They didn't need it.
Edwards got it up ahead for Golding. Oh! No, came in from the side, but his foul has been called.
No, they didn't get back to it. You got that before that's good.
Well and truly.
Now, I know Quatnoy can make it, but in the context of the game, you're 5 points up.
You hold that.
And they're going to review.
Nah, he dropped it before.
I think he did. But that's where your game sense, just bring it out. Now, he's wide open, so I can understand. But yeah, the clock, just take another 10 seconds off the clock. No, that's clean block. In fact, he's got a lot of ball. Wasn't a foul.
Go. 2 shots.
2 shots for Chris Golding, who's been relatively quiet by his lofty standards. Just 8 points. 1 of 5 from the field, averaging 18 points across his 5 games for the season. But this is a part of the game that he is one of the very best at. Sydney led by 12 points midway through the 3rd quarter. And Melbourne United have hit back hard in quarter number 4.
Love to see Sydney come down, swing this ball side to side, make Melbourne United play some defense. They're going to take the basket.
Clock's their friend, and they're looking for a shot. Unless something wide open presents in like the last 6 seconds of this possession, down to 10.
Here's Kendrick Davis, still a long way from the basket. Dellavedova, this would be sweet. Shot clock beats them.
Took too long to get it. You got that dummy motion to start with, and it got down to that 6 seconds, but then it just looked a little sloppy to get to the destination.
Final minute. A Melbourne Cup Eve thriller. And we're not at the finishing post just yet. Doyle on the move. Makes it a 1-point game.
Great drive. Smart play.
Now it's the Kings' turn to hold their nerve. Their last couple of offensive sets have not been what they've been after.
And we know Kendrick Davis can go to work here, and he's good at what he does. But that ball's just in his hands.
Time to get busy, though.
And did he get it off? They say no.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one.
It was close. Both referees, though, waved it off at the same time. They seem very confident.
They are going to take a look at it in the replay centre. Final 2 minutes. Quick review, too.
Look at the top of your screen. You see the shot clock. Oh, that's close.
That's close.
Just.
That is close.
So that's 2 in a row now, Copes.
Too much dribbling, man. I get it. I understand you're good, but this ain't what got you there.
10,500 standers won. Melbourne trail by a point. Doyle with some room. Underneath for Edwards. Dellavedova's going to send him to the line.
I like the foul. It was going to be a dunk.
Yeah.
So I really, it's a smart play by Delly, albeit that's going to be 5 for him. But that was a dunk and a go-ahead bucket. And Edwards has had his challenges from the free throw line.
And you're not helping with the commentator's curse.
6 of 8. Bull Paul gets in his ear as he goes up just to have a few words to him.
Don't you love it? Bull Paul saying what, Drew? What is he saying?
He's saying that ring looks a whole lot smaller right now.
Bang. And we're back to him, too. And we're back again. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. So if he misses this, Sydney does not have to shoot the ball today.
No, but they'll foul.
He leaves both on the line. Melbourne needs a foul if they can't create the turnover. The Sydney have beat the trap.
They need the foul in the back court.
Melbourne United's undefeated streak is about to come to an end.
What given the circumstances, they
foul straight away.
Foul Davis in the back court. And they were able to chew off a good 7 or 8 seconds. So it's 2.7 left. And the worst thing for Melbourne United, they still had a foul to give. That's only their 4th.
Oh, wow.
So it doesn't even send them to the line.
He was going to call timeout, but he said, I'll let you call it, George.
High drama.
Free throws. He was 6 of 8 now, 6 of 10. 6 of 8's pretty solid throughout the regular part of the game, but when the game's on the line...
I'm blaming you, Drew, because you put the curse on him.
There's got to be a different statistic for free throws in the last 2 minutes of a game that's 4 points or less.
Jack, that's a scary proposition right there. Shoot those free throws with 10,000 people looking at you, son. And there's no joke, Jack. It is no joke, son. I've been there in college. Clank, clank. Missed them both. Coach looked at me as if to say, bro, I'll see you next time.
Win or lose, Melbourne don't have long. You see there on the screen, Wednesday night they play Ignite Cup basketball in the championship rematch against the Illawarra Hawks, who are impossible to work out at the moment. The Hawks.
They looked good yesterday, or looked a lot better, I should say. Yesterday, Dave O'Hickey back to his best. But they've put it, it's now up to 3.4 seconds, so Melbourne United, you can't foul. The ball has to be out of the hands of the guy inbounding, and then on the catch, that's when you need a foul. Obviously, your first thought is to try and get an interception.
Yeah. Sydney have to meet the ball here and make sure that the ball is in their hands. Because a turnover here is detrimental.
You can't foul, otherwise it's 2 in possession while the ball's still in Bruce's hands.
Sean Bruce with the inbound duties. They find Kendrick Davis. Still 2.2 seconds left.
The problem is, and that's that timeout that we were talking about earlier. Right now.
2 shots.
Oh no, they got the 2 shots here. Dean Vickerman's still got timeouts available. And it's at that fine line. You make the first, and at 2.7, do you miss it so they can't advance it? Brian Gorgon. I think he's wanting him to miss. Oh, no.
3-point game. Timeout, Melbourne. One last chance.
It's a good... 2.7 is...
enough time to get up a good shot.
Yeah,
Yes,
even a pass, a quick pass on the inbound for a 3-ball.
Would you foul, though, here and give him 2 free throws?
Brian Gorge, according to Ken, I think Brian actually wanted him to miss.
Well, Kendrick Davis just came to the bench and almost apologised and said, sorry, coach, I tried to miss. But he's got 34 points on 52% shooting. He's hitting everything tonight.
Yeah. Joey, would you foul here and send him to the line?
You do, but because it's such a little amount of time, you don't want to get caught fouling in the act of shooting, because there's not a... Whoever catches it has really maybe got like a quick pass and a catch, or one dribble and a shot. If it's getting to a dribble, then yes, I'd be fouling to put him to the free throw line.
Sydney's last 6 games coming into tonight that were decided by 3 points or less, they were 0 and 6. They've had trouble in the close ones, closing them out. They've had a couple of nervous moments at the back end of this quarter, but right now...
I'm nervous, Jack.
I know what horse I'd rather be on.
Got me nervous in here. He's got some shooters out there, though, I'll tell you that much. He's got some shooters out there, Drew. All 5 of those guys can knock down a 3 for Melbourne United.
My word.
2.7 seconds. It'll take something very special from here to push it into overtime. Doyle didn't get the shot away. Sydney are the streak slayers.
Yes. Went and got it done, didn't they?
2-0 for the weekend. The Sydney Kings are back in business. An ominous warning shot to the rest of the competition.
And it's not just the win, it's the way they won. They looked a little shaky down the stretch, but Phil still found a way to get it. And they walk away with a huge road win against a team that some were predicting.
Want to know where David Lowry is right now?
Boy, everyone wants to know that right now.
Everyone wants a piece of David Lowry.
God.
But Damon, Bogues was saying it with a smile on his face.
Yeah, he was.
That's a great performance by Sydney. 95-92, the final result. We saw them on Saturday night, Drew, in Brisbane, and they smashed the Bullets. But tonight, to come to Melbourne in front of a sold-out crowd and to take on the undefeated Melbourne United, that is Sydney's best win of the season by some margin.
No doubt. We saw it building in what they did against Brisbane. There's clearly been some adjustments to what they're doing. The 3-ball starting to fall for them. Good things await. They're 13 of 16 from the free throw line as well. And they had to show some nerve down the stretch. And it did look clunky, and they'll learn from it. But it was a good performance.
Let's get over to Kelsey Brown.
Yeah, I'm here with Kendrick. Massive game from you. It's hard to come and get a win in Melbourne, but how good does that one feel? You broke that streak.
Man, it feels great. Everybody know how we lost that Tassie game. It could have broke our spirit. And Coach stayed with us. Coached us hard as hell. But most importantly, man, I want to come get this game for Delhi. I know y'all seen how he had my back in Adelaide, so I knew this game meant a lot, and we just all want to go out swinging, but Coach had us prepared. Look at X again tonight. So everybody, team effort, like Bull, everybody, man. I go down the line, Brucey, Tim, everybody chipped in, and it's a good one.
Feels like it's a different look, Sydney Kings. You've come out way more aggressive with a lot more intensity. Has there been conversations in the background about what the identity you guys want to put out there?
Yeah.
Should we end it there? I got wet.
Oh, Callus.
Well, Kendrick Davis gets a drowning. 95-92. All smiles with the Sydney Kings. They're happy.
As they should be.
As they should be. We're going to come back and wrap it up on the other side of this. Cup B basketball here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. What a sensational game we had at John Cain Arena tonight. The Sydney Kings win 95-92, bring Melbourne United's undefeated start to the season undone. Brilliant from the Kings, who go 2-0 for the weekend.
Yeah, it's a special. This can galvanise a team. They've gone through a rough patch, but it's all coming together. And I think Kendrick Davis summed it up with the team effort and the three-point percentages. If you eradicate some of those ones down the stretch as well, and certainly Kendrick Davis was special. 25 shots, Cope, 13 of 25, 4 of 8 from the three-point line. He put on a special performance.
He was fantastic, and he got it going. But let me tell you something, he was great, but for me, it was Cooks who got everybody going early. He got everybody involved, he pushed the ball down the floor. And
don't forget about Full Qual.
Full Qual for 5, yes, sir.
Qual was
and played a great defensive play. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If they get the best out of those two, to go with Kendrick Davis and Tim Suarez, it becomes an imposing team for Sydney. And all of a sudden, Coach, they go to 5-5 on the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. Things don't look that bad.
Absolutely, and teams under them and teams above them are saying, if the Kings play like this, we got to go back to the drawing board.
Hope you enjoyed that half as much as we did tonight. On behalf of Andrew Gaze, Kelsey Brown, Leonard Copeland, and our team behind the scenes who made it all happen for us tonight. Thanks so much for being with us. Sydney defeat Melbourne. The streak is over. The Kings are back in business. And this is the Hungry Jacks NBL.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.